Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we have about 1 minute until we launch. Just a heads up, we're at 1:29. I try to be timely, taking after, the best model from Supervisor Pedrosa when you chaired, and Mayor Sedgley is always very timely. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Liz Alessio. I'm the chair for the Napa Valley Transportation Authority and Tax Agency. We're going to start this meeting on this blue sky sunshine Wednesday, March 15th at 1:30 p.m. for the Napa Valley TA Board of Directors Tax Agency. We will go to the Tax Authority after this first agenda meeting. So at 1:30, we call this officially to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. Item 3 on the agenda is the consideration approval of the board member request for remote participation. Do we have any member requests for remote participation?
We do not today.
Excellent. Laura, roll call, please.
Leon Garcia. Mark Joseph. Donald Williams. Kevin Eisenberg. Liz Alessio.
Present.
Scott Sedgley. Alfredo Pedrosa.
Here.
Ryan Gregory.
Good timing.
Paul Doring.
Here.
Anna Shuto.
Here.
Margie Moeller.
Here.
And Eric Knight. We do have quorum.
We have a full house.
We do.
That's excellent. Wow, congratulations.
Not much
Thank you.
elbow room today, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, item 5 is the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Is there a motion and a second to adopt the agenda?
Second.
Okay, let's see, Member Garcia motioned and
I'll second.
Vice Chair,
Yeah.
okay. Joseph, second.
Point of order, because we're now back in person, can we do this with a voice vote?
Yes, we can just say aye.
Okay.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, passes unanimously. The next item, again, this is for the tax authority only. Are there any members of the public who wish to make a comment? Okay, not seeing any. We will go to number 7, which is our consent agenda item. Do any board members wish to pull any item from the consent agenda? And if not, is there a motion and a second to adopt this consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Mulder, second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, all passes unanimously. Excellent. Let's see here. So a regular agenda items, there are none for today. Any future items for the NVTA-TA agenda? Okay, not seeing any. All right, so we'll adjourn this meeting at 1:33. Good time. Good job, everybody. The next regular meeting for the tax authority of the NVTA is April 19th, 2023. So moving on to the Napa Valley Transportation Tax Authority. We will call this meeting to order at 1:33, Wednesday, March 15th. Do we have any board members request for remote participation? I assume not, since the first we didn't.
We do not.
Great. And we don't need to conduct roll call, or do we for this authority?
I can confirm that roll call was handled at the preceding NVTA-T meeting with no absences, and we have Ellen Swigert here as our alternate for PCC.
Excellent. Thank you. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Do we have a motion and a second to approve it? Pedrosa, motions to approve? Second by Shuto. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Okay, thank you. We're on to item number 5, and this is public comment. Are there any members of the public who wish to make a comment on the item not on the agenda? Okay, I see Mr. Pearson is here. Well, Mr. Pearson, do you want to come up to the microphone? Oh, we'll bring it to you. There we go. Thank you. And Mr. Pearson, this is a 3-minute public comment area. Okay, thank you.
I'll try to be brief because yesterday I dropped off a memo that goes into a lot more detail than I'm going to go into this morning.
We did receive that. Thank
Pardon?
you. We did receive that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. My name is John Pearson. I'm at 1511 St. Avenue in Napa. And I want to make sure you understand I'm here as an individual and not necessarily representing the views of any other person or organization. But what I am here is to address the countywide assessment needs study that your board commissioned last September, and urging you to take some steps to correct what I believe is an already flawed process in that study. What I want to present to you, what the survey, in very brief, highlights of what it will not provide you with data. First of all, it will not identify all existing services and programs. There's no definition of the use of the term public transit or public transportation. Curiously, there's no place for the person responding to identify what, if any, of the NVTA services they had utilized and what their assessment might be of those specific ones. Secondly, it will not identify the transportation needs and gaps specific to seniors and individuals with disabilities. If the respondent is disabled, there is no mention of any question in the survey that would indicate that that person is disabled. If so, in what way? And how does that interact with their use of transportation? Thirdly, and the staff recommendation said there would be a robust stakeholder participation. There have been 2 meetings, January and February. And it's my understanding that those individuals and the group were not provided the opportunity to review and comment on the survey before it was released. What you have, though, is an opportunity to see if there's a partnering relationship that can occur with another needs assessment the county has funded through Collaborative Care. It's called a Napa Older Adults Assessment, or NOAA. And I know some of you are aware of this. They're going to release a very comprehensive survey in April that does include a little bit about transportation. So they are also going to be conducting robust public outreach focus groups, along with this survey. They're training a cadre of volunteers to assist both with the survey and with the focus groups.
Mr. Pearson,
So-
just so you know, we're at 3 minutes. So if you want 15, 20 more
Well, just
seconds.
final one sentence.
Mhm.
My urging is for you to direct your staff to connect with the leadership of the NOAA study.
Okay.
And see what can be done at that point.
Thank you very much. I really
Okay.
appreciate it. Yeah, very helpful. Okay, and I see that we have a public comment from Jason Kishinoff.
You want to take that with you?
Sure. There you go. Thank you, Jason.
Hello, my name is Jason Kishinev. I am a trustee at Napa Valley College representing American Canyon, but today I speak for myself and do not represent the board of the college. I'm here to advocate for the NVTA to begin a program to offer free bus rides to K through 12 students as well as community college students. Napa Valley College is working on a program now where the students may vote to tax themselves, but they may not. At any rate, this is not free, and I think that we can do better. They've already got programs like this in Los Angeles County, Ventura County, in Jacksonville, Florida, in Long Beach, and even in Santa Rosa Junior College, students are able to get a Clipper card free. Now, I realize that we don't have the financial resources of Los Angeles or Ventura counties, but I can't imagine that Santa Rosa has much more resources than Napa County. And I don't think that we should wait around for someone to reach out to us. I think that we can make this happen, whether that involves reaching out to this program or whether it involves reaching out to Sacramento, maybe making a grant happen. But I think that all of us want to see our students succeed. And this is one way that we can help. Investing in our students is investing in the future and a better future for Napa County. And I'd certainly hate to think that the next Einstein or the next Mozart didn't succeed because they didn't have enough bus fare. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other public comment? Okay, not seeing any. We will move on to the next item. And this is the chairpersons, board members, MTC, and ABAG updates. Do we have any, Alfredo, do you want to start with the MTC update? Okay.
Thank you, Chair Lefsey. So it's been a busy month at MTC. Let me start with some good news. We've been working closely with our friends in American Canyon about funding the State Route 29 multimodal improvements. Director Miller has been instrumental in that as well. We're able to get 1.5 million at program and allocation for that. That means that project is fully funded at $3 million. Again, thanks to Kate for working closely with that, and also to the staff at MTC for acknowledging that our region does matter. And while $1.5 million might not be a lot in the grand scheme of things, it is a lot to our community. So we're able to get that. So that should move forward.
Director Pedrosa, thank you very much for your efforts on that.
Happy to do so.
Means a lot to us in American Canyon and to the valley as a whole.
As we've said, it's a regional problem and we need to bring regional resources to the table, Mayor. So again, thank you for supporting me and continuing to be on MTC so we can do these type of things. On the staffing side, we led the group that hired a new executive director at MTC. Therese McMillan left. She was a trailblazer, did phenomenal things for the organization. We did hire Andy Vermeer, who was the deputy director. Great human being, very operationally driven. What was very attractive to us about him is we've done a lot of planning, Plan Barrier 2050, the arena numbers, planning that. Now we have to start doing things. We have to get into the mode of doing and creating outcomes. Andy Vermeer is the right person for us at the right time. So he's our new fearless leader for MTC, and that continues to grow. Talking about regional network management, part of the benefit of being chair, we get to do committee assignments, and we're also creating a new committee. But I'm also interested in doing away with committees that don't do real work. So regional network management is a new committee, and that's one that we're hopeful that Supervisor Rabbit from Sonoma County might chair and lead that committee, someone that from our region, but really looking at, with the 27 transit operators we have in the region, where can we make improvements for those folks that use our transit system and making it more reliable, more accessible, more dependent, also thinking about equity. So we're fully on that. Some of us were in Sacramento a week ago or 2 weeks ago talking about ledge visits and visiting with our state legislators. One of the things we're talking about is a fiscal cliff. The fact of the matter is we have a lot of operators that in 2024 will run out of money. And right now, the folks that are using transit are transit dependent riders. We have a responsibility to make sure that we have operable transit systems. So I'm going to be creating an ad hoc committee chaired by Vice Chair Josefowicz, who's going to be leading the region on looking at a sustainable funding source for our fiscal cliff, our transit operators. I think that's it. And I find myself going to San Francisco a lot more now because it's back to in person. But I will tell you, it is so great. I think it's good that we do this. We were on a call with BART and Caltrain because we're trying to get two institutions to kind of work together. And we were on Zoom. And I shared the story. It was one of the board members for Caltrain said, "How can I trust you all if I've never met you all?" And that was very powerful. If here we are trying to encourage two big operators to work together, but they don't know each other. Right. So when we talk about regional work, when we talk about collaboration, it's these type of things that matter so much. So I just share that story because it struck me as so important for what we're trying to do in the transit world. And I think that's it. Happy to answer any questions, Chair, if there are some.
Thank you for that update. Do we have any questions? Okay, not seeing any. Do we have an update from ABAG?
Yes, ABAG will actually meet tomorrow. But one of the major issues on it is going to be the housing elements discussion around that. And we know that's a challenge for some areas. Proud to say American Canyon is doing quite well, to say the least. But it impacts communities and that needs to be heard and respected. Also, success stories. How did people achieve it in creative ways? And I expect to find out more information from that. Certainly share what we've done in American Canyon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any board members with any updates from your area that you want to share?
Sure, Leslie, if I may,
Yes.
and I'm not sure if it's on the agenda, but Supervisor Gregory is joining us. He's a new appointee from the County of Napa. Supervisor Ramos decided to wield her power over to Supervisor Gregory. So welcome aboard, Supervisor.
Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here, Supervisor Gregory. Yes,
And-
Vice Chair.
And I just
Joseph.
wanted to report that tomorrow at 10 a.m., we're going to have the groundbreaking for the Green Island Road project, phase 1. So hang out. Rumor has it Congressman Thompson's been invited. He may even be there. So should be a lot of fun. And it's not supposed to rain.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, so on to item 7, which is the Executive Director update.
Well, good afternoon. It's nice to see everybody here in person. I was going to announce that Ryan Gregory is joining the board, but someone else jumped.
I don't
Someone
follow instructions.
someone else
So-
went ahead and did that for me. So thank you for that. Let's see, Doug Weir, who has resigned his committee positions. Doug who's an advocate for elderly and disabled transportation services, has been serving on various NVTA and prior to that NCTPA advisory committees for many, many years. In total, Doug has served on 6 committees, sometimes simultaneously, but his service includes member of the NVTA board representing the Paratransit Coordinating Council, member of the Paratransit Coordinating Council, member of the Vine Transit Citizen Advisory Committee, member of the Vine Transit Ambassadors, member of the Technical Advisory Committee representing the Paratransit Coordinating Council, and member of the Citizen Advisory Council. So I just wanted to acknowledge Doug, thank him for his service, and wish him well. Let's see, TransDev officially acquired First Transit on March 6th. This is a pretty big acquisition in the contracted services world. TransDev now operates in 40 US states, Puerto Rico, and 6 Canadian provinces, and will provide over 400 million passenger trips annually. TransDev now employs 25,000 people and administers a fleet of 59,000 vehicles. The new NVTA website went live on March 9th. Some of its attributes includes the library section where a member of the public can easily find agendas from prior board and committee meetings, project fact sheets, and planning and project documents. There's also a new programs drop down where members of the public and partners can find out about transit, transportation, demand management, and funding. It is also on a new platform, making it much easier for staff to modify and add information. So thank you, Valerie, for pulling that together. The accessible transportation survey has been extended. Diana Meehan sent board members a link so that you can share it with your constituents. The survey is part of a combined effort with the county to understand the needs of members of the community that are elderly. And NVTA is overseeing transportation element that also is seeking to address transportation gaps for members of the disabled community. And I just wanted to comment that there is a lot of coordination between NCOA, and we are actually using some of the data that they've collected in their survey and as part of our data collection, and that the survey is just one of many elements that we're using to understand what those gaps are. So stay tuned. It's a pretty robust study, and we are a little bit behind on doing some of our stakeholder meetings because we wanted to make sure that the information that we were sharing with the stakeholders was whole and complete. So, and that concludes my report. Oh, one more thing. Speaking of which, staff acknowledgement. So this month I'd like to acknowledge Diana Meehan. Diana has been with NVTA for 11 years. Did I get that right? Yeah. She started as a transit planner, but now works primarily under an umbrella of improving mobility for community members, overseeing NVTA's active transportation and travel demand management, or V commute programs. She's also working on a couple of very important plans, the Elderly and Disabled Needs Assessment and the Vision Zero plan. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Diana for her enthusiasm for the work she does. She has her fingers on the pulse of new technologies, serving commuters and active transportation users in Napa. She was an expert on Vision Zero before it was a thing. And thank you, Diana, for all the work you do at NVTA, for keeping us all informed and up to date, and for being such a great cheerleader for the work we do. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And I'd like to acknowledge Diane too, because she's very responsive. She's passionate about the work that she does. And I thank you for everything you're doing too, Diane, on behalf of the board here. Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, we have consent agenda items. And this is items 9.1 through 9.5. Do any board members wish to pull any item from the consent agenda? Oh, excuse me, I bypassed the Caltrans report. Let me step back one. Do we have a Caltrans representative here?
Yes,
We do.
good afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, board members, and apologies for not being able to be present today. Hopefully I'll make it next month. So this is Amani. I'm the regional project manager in Caltrans, and just before going through updates on the updated projects, just to let you know that Caltrans is currently working with the maintenance crew, and we are receiving emergency operations centers situation reports on a daily basis with low risk level that will impact on the weather hazards for road closures or any storm damage or scour bridges. Just to let you know that there is no risk for the coming few days due to no to little rain forecasts. For the projects updates, we have currently 36 active projects, and this excludes also the projects that is within the maintenance crew due to the storm damage repair, which is approved by the director orders, and some verbals with like dollar amounts that could reach to 4 millions. For the projects which is in the initiation report now, we have only now one project. Some of them has been shifted to the environmental phase. For the PID, we have only one project, which is the pavement rehabilitation and safety improvement. 2 projects has been shifted to the environmental, which is the NAPA project, multimodal corridor improvements in the city of American Canyon, where the project study report and the project development support was approved last month. And we are working with NVTA to secure funds to commence with the environmental phase. The second is the 2W370. This is a major damage in the county of Napa, and the PID was achieved in December 2022. We have also the project, which is the 4J820. This project is in the second page. This is the Toloki Creek Bridge replacement that is tentatively is gonna end with the environmental phase by the end of this month. On the design, we have 16 projects, and the first one, which has been completed, the environmental phase, is the 0Q790. This is the construction of rock slide protection in the county of Napa in 5 locations, and the design has been commenced. The second is the 3Q760, which is rumble stripe, with a tentative of achieving the design by end of this month. There are some projects which is not actually highlighted in the report, but just to give idea about one of the damage drainage improvements, which is in the city of American Canyon. This is to rehabilitate culverts since we have all this storm weather and the rains. This project's with a 3.3 million construction capital, and the bids were opened last week. So they are going to commence the construction within a few months. The second project, which is not highlighted here, is a project, this is on the 3rd page, the project 0K630. This is a 3 bridges in the county of Napa to upgrade and replace bridges. And also the target to advertise this project is on end of this month, with a bid opening on May, since the design has been completed. The Garnet Creek Bridge and the Horns Creek Bridge with the no-name bridge, again, due to the situation and the weather, the crew is monitoring the scour in these bridges, and so far there is no damage on related to the substructure of these bridges. On page number 4, we have the 4J990. This is the Ritchie Creek Bridge replacement in order to improve fish passage, and the 100% design will be completed by the end of May of this year. In construction, we have 11 projects in construction, and all are on target according to the milestones. Just to highlight that for the Soskol Junction, there was a meeting with the NVTA in order to mitigate traffic congestion that is resulting from the Soskol Junction detour on Devlin Road, and the conclusion was to provide some stop signs. By this, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the board? No? Thank you very much for this update.
Thank you.
We look forward
everyone.
to seeing you next month.
Can I just say one
Yes,
thing? I just,
please.
I know 29 around Kelly Road has been a real problem during the storm. So thanks for being so responsive, Amani, when we text you in the middle of the night, I think on Sunday. So thanks.
Thanks to you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, now we will move on to the consent agenda, and I didn't hear anybody that wants to pull any of these items. So unless that changes, do we have a motion and a second to approve this consent agenda?
Move to approve, Garcia.
Okay,
Mueller seconds.
I've got approval first by Garcia, and who was the second? And Mulder did a second. All in favor say aye. Any nays? Okay, excellent. Moving on to regular agenda items. Starting with 10.1, this is an action